love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.
Hello, comrades, and welcome back to the Ushanka Show. Здравствуйте, товарищи. Soviet Vacation, Part 2. Today we'll talk some more about how the Soviet people spend their vacation time, but in the beginning let's do a little refresher and look again at the most favorite destinations for Soviet people to spend their summer days. It's a Crimean Peninsula and the cities or small towns located along the Black Sea shore. Yalta. Alushta. Yevpatoria. Sochi. Anapa. Gagra. Yurmala, located on the Baltic Sea. Truskovets in Ukraine. Borjomi in Georgia. So looking at all these towns, you probably understand that this Black Sea was popular as a place for vacation even before the Soviet Union existed, and the rich people of the Russia had their summer homes or summer palaces built on the most beautiful locations along the Black Sea. Of course, after the Socialist Revolution of October 1917, all those places were confiscated, nationalized, and turned into different places to rest for the regular workers. Even the famous Levada Russian Tsar Palace was turned into so-called peasants' sanatorium. And only in 1928 there started construction of buildings for specific sanatoriums, they call it, for places for the Soviet workers and peasants to take a break and spend their vacation days. So we had several types of, I can call it maybe institution, that people could visit and stay. And I don't know how to translate exactly these words into English, but one kind was called sanatori, so it's probably from Latin sanatorium, maybe. So that There was the places for your health recovery. So besides taking vacation, you also take some different medical treatments. So those places were really popular with workers who had some like coal miners, or you work at the steel mill. So it's bad for your health as a benefit of working, because you work in such an environment. The government provides you with this sanatoriums where you can take mud baths, special inhalation treatments for your lungs. Then you can have massages, different exercises. Then the doctors will be checking you out. Different special showers. There's a shower called dush sharkos, a special, probably like a massage type showers. And then there's a different diets available in the stolovaya, a place, cafeterias. So that's the type called sanatorium. So that's the people visit who need to recover their health due to their work environment. Another place was called pensionat. So that was similar to sanatorium, but it has less strict medical environment. So that people still, so that's mostly for healthy people. And then they provide you with 3 meals a day. You have some entertainment going on, but there may be some medical things going, maybe like massages, stuff like that. The next one was interesting, called Dom Отдыха, which you can translate like the house of rest. So almost sound to me like a funeral home, but it's not that type of rest. So you just come and relax. So the house of relaxation. So same, you just kind of go to the beach. You have a cafeteria when you can eat 3 times a day. So it's not like all inclusive, all you can eat. It's only 3 times a day. Of course, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then maybe there'll be some kind of dances in the evening. So this is the place I visited once with my parents. So that's a Dom Отдыха, the place of rest. Then we had so-called Turbaza, which is a tourist base. And that was the basic, small, like A-frame time homes without any conveniences. Then you had outhouses maybe, and public showers. And that's for the people who wanted just to visit some locations on a cheap. You cook outside for yourself. You had some kind of grill and stuff like that. So that'll be Turbaza. That was the least expensive way to go somewhere down south and take a break. Most of these places, sanatoriums, tourist bases, places of rest, were constructed, built, and they're owned by the different departments. Like coal miners will have something, taxi drivers, and so on. So you need to work in that industry, and then you might be able to go and stay at the places that belong to that specific ministry of transportation or whatever. So that's what all along the shore we had a bunch of those different places of rest and so on. And of course we had hotels and motels, but this is this classic Soviet Union situation. They were always booked. You couldn't just travel down south and stop at the hotel. They will be all booked. You needed to have connections in order to get a room there. So that I never heard anyone about going down south and just staying in a hotel for a week or so. Well, if you watch my videos for a while and you're familiar with my stories, you probably got this idea. So as the thin red line through all my videos, goes the topic of shortage of different things. You couldn't just go and purchase a car. You couldn't just go and purchase furniture most of the time. A lot of foodstuffs, you couldn't just walk in the store and buy some fish or meat. So same situation with the vacation. You couldn't just say, okay, I would like to go with my family this summer down to Crimea. You needed to get PUTEVKA. And this is the word that you need to remember if you want to know something about Soviet vacation. Soviet vacation, which is the word отпуск, it was always with PUTEVKA. And I can't translate this word in English really well, but this is like you purchase the package. It might be included a trip, usually on a train, and then you stay in one of those places of rest, Dom Отдыха or sanatorium, and for 10 days or 14 days, meals included. But you need to buy this PUTEVKA, and we never said I bought a PUTEVKA. You always said I got a PUTEVKA. So you need to get it somehow. And there were different ways you can get your PUTEVKA. So the cost of PUTEVKA was fixed. Of course, it's a government controlled prices. And since 1960s all the way in the 80s, the price was pretty set. So if you go with family of 3 and you stay in a nomer, so they just call like you rent a room, and with 3 meals 3 times per day, it will cost you for 12 days about 60 rubles for family of 3. Or if you go for a whole month, for 24 days, it will cost you 120 rubles. So that's a lot of money. It's pretty much what the average person was earning in a month. So if you make $5,000, let's say here in the United States, you're paying $5,000 to stay for a month somewhere with 3 meals per day, and really nothing else besides you can go to the beach and then there'll be some kind of dances, entertainment in the evening. But most of these PUTEVKAs, they're called профсоюзная PUTEVKA, so that's the labor union PUTEVKA, and usually labor union will pay like most of the cost, and the worker pays only 30%. So you will be pretty good. You can pay about 20 rubles, and you have a nice little vacation by the sea. But as I always mentioned, there was shortage of PUTEVKAs since there was no market pricing, demand and supply. You had a fixed supply and you have fixed prices, and demand is high. So then what you get shortage. So pretty much the whole system worked on so-called распределение, or if you can translate it to like distribution. So your ministry, for example, we'll say of coal miners, right? They send down to this coal mine, you have a 10 PUTEVKAs, and you have maybe 500 coal miners or whatever. So then there's maybe a waiting list. So like the people who went before, they go back to the bottom of the list, and people who didn't go for a while, they'll be on the top of the list. And then you get, again, you don't buy, you get your PUTEVKA. Or maybe if you have connections, people, or, if you have access to PUTEVKAs and you want to make sure the guy who has access to refrigerators is happy, so you bypass other people and you get him PUTEVKA, then they will bypass the waiting list and will get your refrigerator. So that's how it works too. So party leaders, management, they had the first dibs at the PUTEVKAs, and then of course we had a special categories of people that who were seriously sick, veterans of World War II, people with many kids. They also had be kind of head of the waiting list to get a PUTEVKA. My family, we had only once PUTEVKA, and it wasn't even to the Black Sea, which was like a premium destination, I said, Crimean Peninsula. We ended up going to the Sea of Azov, or as we call it, Azovskaya More, and that's where we stayed in the place of rest for, I believe it was 12 days or 14 days. I think it was 12 days. So my dad, it was his turn or his chance. They offered him PUTEVKA. So for all these years, and we went there only once. We got the PUTEVKA through my dad's place of work, and I was 15 at that time. And I hope I can find some pictures to show, but it's all, of course, black and white. And we didn't really like it because all you do all day is just spend it on the beach. You wake up in the morning, you go to the cafeteria, you have breakfast, you go to the beach. Then you have lunch, you take a little break, you go back to the beach. There was really nothing else to do. You don't have a car, you don't have a bike. It's only like walking distance. Maybe you can walk to the town, which, about 20-30 minutes walk, you can buy some strawberries or some sweet cherries, and then again for all day all you can do is just swim and get tan. And in the evening then you have some dances, and then we have a movie theater that you can walk. It was like open movie theater, had no roof, kind of summer theater, so you can watch some movies. So we stayed there for 12 days and none of us really liked it. It gets old really quick, and we prefer to go to the village and up north and do mushroom picking and fishing and stuff like that. And as I started mentioning about my PUTEVKA trip to the sea, there is a kind of funny story I want to share with you, and that will be the end of this video. So as I mentioned, I was 15, and I guess my dad started having concerns about my sexuality because I was a really nerdy, really shy, and at the age of 15 I never had a girlfriend. So my dad started to kind of being suspicious of maybe I'm not really interested in girls. And so when we went down south to the Sea of Azov, one time at cafeteria we had a meal, and the people who work at cafeterias, there were students, college students who were studying to be cooks or work as waitresses. So there were several really young, pretty girls, maybe a little bit older than me because they went to college. I was still 15. So there were one girl. She was just so pretty, and of course she spent already like over a month at the beach. So she would cook, served food, and then the rest of the time they just go to the beach and hang out, swim, and get tan. So she had really beautiful dark tan, and I saw her a couple of times on the beach in her bikinis. So man, I had a horrible crush on her. So that one time we were having food and she brought meal. I don't remember what she brought food to us at the table, and my dad caught my eye. He noticed how I look at her, and he was so excited. Right there at the table, he announced like, "Oh yeah, I see that you like her so much. Do you like her?" And I was so embarrassed because she was standing right there grinning because, she was older. And I just turned red because I got caught. But my father was so happy when he realized that his son is not gay. Well, that's the end of the Soviet vacation part 2. We have a couple more videos about it. I hope you enjoyed this story. And as always, don't forget to like my videos. And I would like to especially thank the viewers that posted comments in my community tab. I posted somebody else comment about how boring my videos are and have no focus and they're too long, and I had a lot of support, so thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания, goodbye.